First of all, a disclaimer. I don't normally have curly hair, nor do I normally wear this makeup, but I'm in Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None at Topeka Civic Theater, and I came from a performance, so I have the 1940s makeup and the curls going on. But anyway, before I took the course, I would have defined popular culture as something that's really popular, as whatever cultural meme is sweeping the nation at this point. I didn't realize that there were so many different dimensions to it. For example, how you can define it by what it's not. For example, it's not high art that's only seen by elitist people who have a snooty patooty view of things. I think this applies pretty strongly in theater. I actually see it quite often in theater. Certain plays are held up to be amazing, and then once the masses start to like them, it's like they lose something. Um, Except for as an actor or an actress, you want people to love what you're doing, so it's kind of in contrast there. I found, oh, what was the author's name? Matt Arnold's division of classes just hilarious. The barbarians or the populace, the way he described them, and I don't know as I agree, but I found it very funny, also very elitist. But it's interesting how, to me, popular culture would be the culture held by the populace. But to Matthew Arnold, the popular culture would be, or the culture would be what was held up by the elite few. So I found I disagreed with him there, although he wasn't necessarily discussing popular culture. Secondly, I'd like to talk about the Barbie project. First of all, I just had a great time reminiscing about my childhood. I played with Barbies all the time. Their fashion and saving up to buy those little packets of Barbie clothes. I just brought back a lot of memories. And actually, I was interested. I went to the Mattel website and was astonished at how much the Barbie product is still marketed today. I had thought they had lost a lot of ground to Bratz dolls and American Girls dolls, but it's amazing the amount of online games and videos and DVDs and products that still exist for Barbie today, and how much she has grown even since my childhood in the 1980s. I would say I played with Barbie late 80s, early 90s, end of elementary school or elementary school to middle school, and it's incredible the amount of products that have come since then. And I remember Barbie was still somewhat limited at that time. There were still some professions that Barbie didn't do. So it was nice to go on the website and see that Barbie has actually taken on those professions. However, I found out in my paper as I was writing it that Barbie still is somewhat limited. For example, this is whether or not you agree with the politics of this, but there is no homosexual partner marketed for Barbie. She doesn't have a lesbian partner. There are some things that are still not deemed acceptable for Barbie by Mattel or whatever. And that's not to say that a young girl can't imagine Barbie that way and play with her that way, especially if a young girl was raised by two mothers. But I just found that interesting that even though Barbie's range and options have expanded so far, there is still some limitation to what she is marketed to do. In the online discussion boards, I think the question that intrigued me the most, that I think we'll be exploring throughout the course, is how recent innovations in technology have enabled the spread of culture in a new way. What new things constitute pop culture that may not have before, like lolcat pictures or silly online music videos of dancing men from Korea. So these things would not necessarily have been considered culture before because they weren't easily spread from person to person. But now they can become immensely popular. And so I'm curious to see how that affects the definition.